Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Zcast. This week, it is me, Burnerator, joined with Squee.
Lies! Gotta hold down the button.
Yes, and also Viper Kang again.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, we sincerely apologize for last week. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get more than 2 people onto the Zcast. So we had to
Also
delay it.
lies! They just don't care about you.
Hey, calm down, Mr. Sick Person. Come on.
Yeah, no, guys. I was like, they were like, Squee, you want to do a Zcast? I was like, they're like, okay,
So that was a
Basically.
yes.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say, but no.
Yeah, we even postponed it a couple times, and then no, it wasn't able to.
Yeah, we tried so hard, and we are like, what if we move it to Wednesday? Yeah, I should be better Wednesday. Nope.
Yeah. And then it just got to the point where it would be me and Viper, which would be a little bit awkward. But, it's fine. It's fine. We
Yeah, for some reason,
probably.
Byrne wouldn't stop making kissy faces at me. I tried to get him to be professional, but it just wouldn't happen.
I try. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't keep my hands off you. You muscly bastard. Um. Anyways, we will not be going over week 5, even though I said we might, because I don't remember any of the matches. Do you guys?
I was sick.
Sick.
I kind of remember some of them.
Look, I'm
Okay.
going to be honest with you guys. I was sick as balls when we did the week 5. So I don't remember what happened. I'm completely honest with you. I just have not had time to go back over the matches, which is sad. You would think I would, considering that's kind of my thing, but I have not had time.
It happens to the best of us. Anywho, that's week 5 completely glossed over. Week 6, though, had a lot of interesting matches. First up was match 1, Blades versus Dragon Ball Warriors.
That was a really good match. Blades definitely came out to play that match, especially Janimba.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I brought it up as a stat the week before, I think in week 5, that John Imber was not liking to throw out those B2s, but the past 2 weeks, he's been throwing them out like candy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I think it was against Yajirobe, but he powered up to max power, shot a B2, and Yajirobe just crumpled.
Wait.
What?
Blades and
No.
What?
Yajirobe's on
no.
his team. We don't
What?
do fratricide.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Yajirobe. I forget who he shot it at, but I think it might have been like Goku or something.
Might have been Goku. Could have been Pilaf, if I recall correctly. But
I
could be
I
very
do
wrong.
think that the Dragon Ball Warriors had some good licks. I love the 2 Kaiokens.
Yeah.
That was amazing. They're like, where is he? Where is he? Oh, there he is. Bam.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think that was Goku's best showing as far as him using Solar Flare in his B2s.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised that the first B2 didn't actually make the lock on. It was actually quite good.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Warriors came to play too. It was one of those really good close matches. I thought Pilaf did well. I thought early Goku's done better than he's shown in the past. I think that honestly, and Piff said this too, the fact that Nam wasn't there probably decided that match.
Yeah. Yeah, greatly.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And whatchamacallit? Tao was Tao. Tao was amazing, as always.
Well, Cyborg Tao shut General Tao down pretty hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say which Tao, but no, yeah, you're right.
Until Cyborg Tao hit the field, General Tao was just being a boss, and then Cyborg Tao was like, "Wait, I can do this better." Smack, 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 smack.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yep. So it was definitely well played. The Blades won. That was very good for them. Match 2, the Super Saiyans versus the Saiyans.
If I remember correctly, Super Saiyans were pretty dominant during this fight.
There was a period of time where, yeah, we thought that they were gonna hands down win it. It was, I believe, It was like a turnaround. It was a last second, not a last second, but it was
Raditz.
a late match turnaround. Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. So yeah, at first it was the Super Saiyans dominating, then Raditz coming in and being pretty awesome. I always feel bad because the Super Saiyans will commonly win the matchups against the old school Saiyans.
Mm-hmm.
But it really looked like this season might have been different for a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the Saiyans team didn't really come to play too much until Raditz came out, and then Raditz has been really impressive this season. He's definitely been like a worthwhile pickup for them.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Guys, my keyboard I think is dying, so my push to talk is not working so well. So hang on a second. I'm gonna switch to voice detection and tell me if that kills everyone's ears.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, is that working or is that bad?
That's
No,
fine.
my ears are fine.
All right, let me know if that changes.
Okay.
Behind the
So.
scenes, everyone.
Yes. Something that I will not cut out. Awesome.
Oh, right, editing.
Yay. But yeah, the Super Saiyans came out to play along with the Saiyans. The Saiyans did really well after Raditz came and pretty much turned the match on its head. But the Super Saiyans were able to eke it out, if I recall correctly.
Yes,
It was within
they did.
a couple
They
of
won.
bars.
It was within I think 2 bars. Yeah, it was really close. It was a really fun match.
Yeah. All right, on to match 3. Cold versus Majins.
Oh my god. That
This was
an
such a
awesome
fun match.
Yeah. It was like two titans just battling it out.
Yeah, it was amazing. I went back and counted. Deborah threw 13 B2s, of which 12 of them hit.
Mm-hmm.
Frieza threw out 3 ultimates and only the third one hit. Third time's the charm. Mecha Frieza, I mean. Inform Frieza throwing out those Nova Strikes like a champ.
Yeah.
No punches were held during this match. They went at each other super hard.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
came down to, I think, a quarter of a health bar on both sides, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the sad part was that Maju was a non-factor. That's what bad for me.
Yeah.
Although I did learn something I didn't know. At one point, Majub threw out a super energy wave volley, and Frieza countered with a Nova Strike, and apparently Nova Strike completely blows through energy wave volley.
Mhm.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. In fact, I think it will. I don't think it'll clash against, but I think it'll blow through like a Kamehameha.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that.
Picture it like a evil barrier, but you're dashing forward at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen other people, like I've seen Aurelie get knocked out of ping with a super energy wave volley, so it's kind of surprised me, but I never really noticed Frieza forms a barrier around himself when he does it.
Yeah, Nova Strike is a bit special, Nagar. It's not like Mad Rush. It's not like Ping. It is a harder thing to penetrate. I'm not gonna say that nothing can penetrate because I don't know. There could be moves out there that penetrate it. I've never actually gone and tested.
Bros Kamehameha.
Bros Kamehameha, probably. I wouldn't doubt it. Not doubt our father son Kamehameha. Yeah. Trap shooter, probably. Blow right through it. Not even a contest.
Yeah, definitely, man. Trap shooter, man. Trap shooter.
Okay, well, whenever I fight Cold, I'm gonna make sure to put TNA on everyone, and hopefully trap shooters will rain down upon everything.
Yes, those little green balls.
You know, one of these days you should do that just to give Piff like a coronary. Like, another trap shooter!
Yes.
I don't want him blowing an artery on commentary from screaming about trap shooter.
I don't know, I kind of do. But yeah, it was Team Cold is super impressive this season. They're 5-1 now, right? 5-1 after a season. You know, what is it with Team Cold? Team Cold seems to go in and out. They have a horrible season followed by an amazing season, followed by a meh season, followed by an amazing season, followed by a horrible season. Now they're back to having a good season. I just don't get it.
Maybe Team Cold has to take breaks from being so good. Like maybe they spend so much energy being good that they're just so tired the next season.
Their
I
their
suppose that's a possibility.
their AIs go into cryo sleep. Yeah.
Maybe because I mean, even you just look at the past couple of seasons. Season 3, they weren't really a thing. Season 4, they were almost the champions. Season 5, they weren't really a thing. Now they're like one of the top 3 teams.
Yep.
Yep. No. So maybe it's that a more realistic reason is perhaps the league adapts, and so far up until now perhaps they've been a bit slow at catching up.
Yeah.
In other words, they find a really good build that does amazing and it kicks everyone's ass, and then people eventually catch on and they counter it, and it takes them a season or so to come up with a new amazing build to get countered. Now, and I'm saying that that's in the past. Who knows? We're under new management now. Team Cold is. So I say we're, but Team Cold is under new management. So maybe that's going to change. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they're doing so well, because now they're able to keep up with everyone.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I do know that they have their worries about Cooler, and last week is not going to assuage those at all.
Yeah.
Cooler has not been performing that well this season.
Yeah. It's weird because last week he was doing meh, and the week before he was doing really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooler's kind of a character representation of the entire team. Sometimes he's amazing, and sometimes it's like, wait, Cooler exists on this team? I forgot.
Yeah. Maybe it's try melee. I'm just saying, nobody's thought of going melee Cooler. He's got a rush B2 and a psychokinesis.
I think everyone should try melee at one point. You never know who's going to be a great look at Meta Cooler.
Yeah,
Flippin' Meta Cooler.
They didn't try melee until I went and put that bug into DMZ in season 5, beginning of season 5.
Yeah, but he wasn't that impressive season 5 at all.
He was okay.
Right.
Stats wise, he was okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
and look, don't get me wrong. I tote stats as much as anyone, but Metacooler was by far their weakest player last season.
Oh yeah, he was, definitely. I mean, he wasn't a star player, but he wasn't like complete and utter like you shouldn't be on this team.
Oh yeah, but he was a non-factor.
Right.
Yeah.
In any case, the Team Cold won that match, pulled it out of their asses. At the last second, Team Cold should be really, really proud of themselves. Majins, you guys should be proud of yourselves too. Your team did great, except for Majub, and that's not necessarily Majub's fault. He was just shut down.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he wasn't given a chance to do anything.
It was certainly one of those, like, man, Majub stepped on the field. He had such a lead. It should have been an open and shut case, and it just.
Yeah.
But that is something that the Majins should take away from it, is that if Majub had performed, so
yeah, maybe there's a way for them to try and work on not letting Majub be shut down like that. Maybe other teams also need to look at what happened and how was Majub so ineffective, and see if they can't recreate that when they face the Majins.
Or just also look at how Majub was shut down and see if you can't make it so that your character won't suffer the same fate. There's a lot to be learned from this match.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because there are a lot more characters that are operating like Majub.
Yes.
Say, for instance, and Vegeta.
Deborah.
Yeah. True, technically.
Last week.
Yeah. Anyways, match 4, the Gohans versus Vals, and justice was served.
Oh my gosh. Poor Vals. And I say poor Vals just because they fought really, really hard. Pan did much better than I was expecting. I was proud of her. She did good. She is the weakest member of the league, so it's always nice to see her do well. Say a Woman did okay. She did well. Honestly, I think. Well, I was trying to think who on the Vals dropped the ball. 18 dropped the ball a little bit, but really, I'm having trouble coming up with it. Now, of course, I'm not analyzing the match as closely as the Valves will be, so they might be able to correct me on this. But Fasha, I think, did decent. Pan did decent. Say a Woman did okay. I think it was more of just the Gohans outplayed him.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it was that and the fact that Say a Man continues to perform at top level.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, Say a Man.
No junk shots, but those
Super
energy
explosive waves.
explosives. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. And Teen Gohan has been doing really well. It's amazing that he did so well as a starter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, it
They
does
haven't
make
used
sense.
him as a starter too often.
Yeah, but it does make sense. I mean, before they didn't want him as a starter because of Father-Son Kamehameha, but now
Right.
that he doesn't have that, he has a chance to shine in other areas. So
Yeah. That is very true.
Yup.
All right. So on to match 5. Boos versus Androids. And again, the Androids win without one of their characters on the field.
Yeah.
which
The
I was
androids.
surprised about.
My
I thought
gosh.
if any team was going to bring out the entire Androids team, it was going to be Boo's.
Mm-hmm. It
But
was...
that 20.
Yeah, it was a very interesting match. 20? My god, 20. And I don't know how, but Kid Buu has just... He's so lackluster this season.
I don't know. There's got to be something they can do for him. There's
Yeah.
got to be a way to fix that. But you're absolutely right. He has been not Kid Buu.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how you would even begin to go about fixing him because, like, he hasn't been. He's been dropping the ball in every area.
Yeah. He just hasn't been aggressive. He hasn't been doing his B2s. He's just been booing it up.
I
I
get it. I get it.
Yeah. I don't know. And Gotenks Boo was doing really well for a while, but he just wasn't able to go through 17.
Yeah.
No,
It's
yeah,
just-
and Oop did pretty good too. Oop
Yeah.
has been doing pretty good for that team.
Well, but look, let's face it. With 20 grabbing like that, it was pretty much over because 17 is going to be amazing. 16 has really been stepping up his game lately.
Yeah.
They had Aider out, which is probably one of their weaker ones. So
Mhm.
it was the androids at their best, and yeah,
Yeah.
they're just on top of their game, hands down.
Definitely.
Yeah, once 20 gets on a roll with those grabs, you just have to kind of hold your breath and hope that it ends quickly.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a good match though. Androids are now 6-0, the only undefeated team so far.
Mhm.
I'm wondering when the OP please nerf are gonna start for reals. I mean, obviously everyone does that
Yeah.
jokingly, but for jokingly, because I spook good.
Yay.
But
Although
yeah,
just as a quick aside, it's pretty awesome that we only have one undefeated team and no teams that have like nothing but losses.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that this season has gotten incredibly level. There's only 2 teams that are really dragging behind the pack, so to speak, and there's only one team that's broken away from the pack, so to speak. That
Mhm.
means that you've got 13 teams that are all in competitive range of each other. Obviously, you've got some that are like 4-2 and some that are like 2-4 and all that, but still within competitive range.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that honestly, a lot of that speaks to just dedication and effort and how much people are putting into their teams.
Mhm. Speaking of effort, dedication, and teams, I'm going to go on to match 6. My team, the Earth Defenders versus Ginyu.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was just such a smooth transition, Burn.
So stuff happened.
Yeah, stuff definitely happened.
Uh
Yeah.
Poor Ginyu Force. And Captain Ginyu actually did good this match. He actually
Yeah.
did things.
If he had done stuff like body change at the right time.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ginyu Force, and we say this all the time, they've got the potential. They really do. It's almost like, and it's not like the team doesn't try. I'm in their forums. I see them. They try. It's just like everyone's kind of holding their breath, waiting for the Ginyu Force to click. And I have faith that they will, and they'll be a force to contest with, but I don't know if it's going to be this season. It may just, and honestly, now look, we're still early in the season. We're not even halfway yet. It's not like the Ginyu Force is out of this in any way, shape, or form. But what I'm saying is that, you know what, if you Ginyu Force, if you need to just take this season and figure out what works, do it. No?
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't try and win and just go into full test mode because it's week 6. You don't do that yet. But what I'm trying to say is if your team is struggling and they start to fall behind enough, you know what? Use it. Look, in real sports, it happens all the time that team managers say, you know what? We're going to suck this season. We know we're going to suck this season or whatnot. This is going to be a building season. We're going to get our fundamentals straight and we're going to come back in season 7 and beat the crap out of everyone. And there's no shame in doing that here too. Not that I'm saying you should, but if you have thoughts like that, there's no shame in that, and it can be a smart strategy.
Mm-hmm. Also, Piccolo AI on Ginyu, keep it.
Yes,
keep it, please.
Piccolo AI
it was
Ginyu,
really good.
Your birder melee build is really good. Your Jace, your Jace did great last week. Goldo's doing good. Raccoon did okay, didn't he?
Yeah, he was dodging like a madman.
Yeah, he was. So there's hope there. There's fundamentals there that are working.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lost my train of thought. I got on a ramble. You guys got to stop me.
Got anything, Viper?
Squee basically said everything that I would want to say about the Ginyu Force. And Earth Defenders is just, a pretty solid team. There's really not much to, pick apart with the Earth Defenders other than, maybe, keep working on Krillin. Try to see if you can up his potential just a little bit more, but
yeah.
See, the problem with Krillin is out of the 5 times we've seen him, he has come out last 3 times, or maybe 4. For that last little and you're dead.
Right. Which is not a bad strategy, honestly, because if Krillin is kind of your weak spot, and he only has to come out and hit a couple of B2s and be done with it, that's a winning strategy right there. I gotta be honest.
That also says worlds about your team, that your weakest guy can work as your cleanup because the rest of your team has just been so good.
Right.
Yeah.
What I do like is that the Earth Defenders, last week they went 9 games in a row without losing one. They were completely dominant, and a lot of that was because Burn and plug your ears, Burn, so you don't blush or what. Is incredibly good at reading other teams. And what you start to see is kind of like last season. Beginning of the season, Earth Defenders struggle. Why? Because there's nothing to read. There's nothing to read on the other teams yet. There's no stats in. There's no matches to learn from. But as the season goes along, the Earth Defenders get stronger and better and get more and more wins because they have more and more information on their opponents to learn from. And that, I think, is what every team should be looking at. I think every single team should get better as the season goes along because you have more information to go off of.
Mm-hmm. Against the Ginyu Force, the reason why we had our lineup the way we did was, first off, we stumbled upon that AI for Chaozu, and it showed a lot of promise. However, I know it's Chaozu, so we're kind of doing the sacrificial lamb thing. But I also know for a fact that the Ginyu Force, after looking at all of their previous builds and everything, save for one match, always had Power Body in the first or second slot. So that's why I had Draconic Aura on both Krillin and Chaozu. So that the Power Body would get taken care of before Tien got in. Or if the Power Body character was still in, Tien would be able to sort of out-tank it for a bit before he was able to take them out, and then Goku would come in and try and clean up the rest. That was the hope. That was the plan. And it worked out pretty well, save for Krillin going last. But still, it was a good match.
It was a pretty good match. I mean, obviously it wasn't like super close, but I
Yeah.
mean, Ginyu Force definitely had their moments. And they have a decent amount to take away from that, especially Captain Ginyu, who arguably is their worst character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to see great things from the Ginyu Force as the season goes on.
Mhm.
I also hope to see better and better things from the Earth Defenders as the season goes on.
Damn straight. On to match 7 will be Derp versus Muscle.
Woot.
Derp,
Yes.
I feel so bad for Derp. Durangel, I know he tries so hard on that team, and they've kind of been letting him down a lot lately. Not to take anything away from Muscle. Muscle was great. Muscle's been great this entire season, but man, Derp just 19 was fantastic, and everyone else pretty much just handed the match over.
Yeah.
I'll admit, I was getting really worried at first, and we kind of lucked out that Broly decided that he really liked tagging this match, because 19 was not letting go of Broly at all.
Yeah. With Derp, it's kind of the same thing that the Ginyu Force is running into. It's the whole, they keep trying really hard to plan for everything, and they put a lot of effort into everything, but then sometimes their characters just go, lol, no. It sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say because I want so much from Team Derp, and it's not easy because it's not an easy team to run. I like that Herc's doing much better. I feel like giving him Draconic Ore for free was a good move.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, they still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Although
definitely.
once again, bright point, Devilman. They have been doing really good with Devilman.
Oh my gosh,
Devilman
yeah, they have.
And Salsa too.
consistently. Oh yeah, Salsa definitely has been doing better than Piff might lead us to believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even Piff acknowledged last week that he hates on Salsa so much, and he's not sure Salsa really deserves it.
Yeah. It's really just the rest of their team, because stats wise, the rest of their team is under 25,000 average damage.
Yup.
Yeah. Anyways, on a lighter note, match 8, Namek versus Rugrats.
That was a good match.
That was a really good match.
That was a really good match.
Chi-Chi really wanted to save Goku.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Chi-Chi was amazing. She didn't give anywhere close to elite status, which is sad. I think she was only like in the 60 or 70,000 range, but man, that was an impressive performance.
Yeah. Goes to show you that not having Dragon Power on her every week actually frees up Potara slots so you can help her out. It's great.
True.
You were going to say something, Viper?
Oh no, I was just going to say that, part of the reason why Aurelie was only really able to get about 70,000 is because Goten got the other 70,000. Goten did really good that match too.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. No, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of good things to say to it. Really, the Namekians did well. I'm trying to remember exactly how the match played out. I know that Goten did fine. He did. Goten. Goten and Trunks are such assets to that team. They really are. But Chi-Chi was just the highlight of the match. And I feel like she almost even overshadows the Namekians. I feel like the Namekians are a strong and powerful team. I'm a little surprised they don't do better than they do.
Yeah, no, because during the match, I mean, I don't think any of the Namekians dropped the ball per se. I think it was just that the Rugrats, especially Goten and Chi-Chi, just kind of outplayed them. Because
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah.
know if any of the Namekians really, did anything worth, you know, dissecting and being like, maybe you should work on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much else to say. Sadly.
All right. Well, that will conclude the review of last week's matches, and on to the Zcast questions.
Yay, questions!
And
Woot.
first off, we have from the Crane. What is your favorite move? Not necessarily the best, but just your favorite. For example, Piff's trap shooter.
Well, to be honest, I think Piff liking trap shooter is a bit ironic rather than solid. But I'd have to say my favorite move in the entire league is 13's ultimate when he's transformed.
Yeah, I was thinking that one too.
My
Not sure I'm gonna say that's my favorite, but man, that's a good.
Yeah.
You beat people up as they're flying through the air.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to debate.
No, yeah, that is. I think that is one of the visually most pleasing of the moves. So I'm gonna lock that in as my favorite.
Yeah. My favorite move, and it's just because one of my favorite characters is Piccolo, is Special Beam Cannon.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Plus, in the league, it goes through everything. Everything. The only thing that it doesn't go through is the barriers.
So if you shoot a Kamehameha at a special beam cannon, it'll just cancel it out.
Oh no, Special Beam Cannon will go straight through the Kamehameha.
Yep.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I meant. The beam cannon will cancel out the Kamehameha.
Oh yes.
Impressive.
And the beam cannon will still hit you.
So basically I think my favorite move. You know what? My favorite move is between two. One of them's not even in the league. One of them is base Goku's mid Goku's rush B2. Because there is nothing quite like a gut punch followed by a Kamehameha driving you into the ground. That's just brutal. And the other one is Fasha's ultimate, because out of all the ultimates and moves in the game, that one, dude, that's death. That's a snapped neck right there. It does not get more brutal than the end of that ultimate.
Yeah,
So,
fair point.
Yep. So that's probably my favorite. But yeah, 13's transformed ultimate is a big one.
I love it.
Next.
I loves it.
Next question.
Next question is from Scuddy B. Were this week's matches planned to be special? North versus East and West versus South, or just a random scheduling quirk?
Random scheduling quirk.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing how many random scheduling quirks you actually get.
Yeah. I mean, what Kyle does this. He inputs a list into, I'm pretty sure it's random.org or something like that. And he just goes, these are all 16 teams, make a season. And then it just spits out the entire roster.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that. No muss, no fuss. We're sure that everything is good. There's no human error. Because back in the day, I used to make the schedule by hand, and you have no idea how insanely difficult that is. Because, okay, well, this team fights that team. No, but they already fought that team. Well, what about this team? It's left over. It took me, I think, 4 hours to sit down and make the schedule. And what we were doing until before KO found this website that can do it was I made the one master template. And then what we did is just move around the teams to get a different season, because no one was going to go through all that again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That dedication.
It is deceptively difficult to put together a season schedule.
Indeed. Now, on to the next question from Harume Hikari Seki. What do you think is the sexiest ultimate in the league?
I was not aware Harumi got turned on by ultimates.
Yeah, I could see that. Didn't I? I did answer yes. I mean, my answer before the Foster ultimate, I think, would still stand for that.
Yeah, and 13's
Yeah.
move is an ultimate, so I'll keep that.
And I think Foster's move would count for either whichever way she's asking. If she means just like which one do you find the best, or like which one do you find generally like someone would be the sexiest move. Well, I'm sure Roshi likes to have that move performed on him.
Roshi
So
did have that move performed
yeah,
on
he
him.
did, and
Yes,
he
he
loved
did.
every second of it. So I think my answer fits both ways.
And I think my answer fits both ways too, because I mean, girls like big muscly guys, right? That's a thing.
You
And
know it.
so, you have a big muscly guy pounding into somebody and finishing them off. No, I'm pretty sure 13's ultimate fits too.
I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I was laughing. The optional question of what do you think is the sexiest ultimate for each team? Um,
Do we
should,
do we want to do each team?
do you guys want to do each team? Because that seems like a
No,
lot.
I don't because well, not only is that going to take some time, but there's some teams that just don't have like I'm going to have to compromise a lot.
Yeah.
There's some teams that their ultimates are suitable but not fantastic.
Neo Tri-Beam. Yeah. No. um. Let's see. On to the next question. What teams impressed you the most this week? This was week 6, by the way. That was
Teams, Rugrats, maybe. Majins. I have to say Majins. I
Majins versus
expected-
DB Warrior.
Wait. Oh, of what's coming up. I thought you meant which team impressed last week. The
Yeah.
one we just took. No,
The
Majins
week before
versus
that.
Cold. Oh,
Wait,
the
are we
week
talking
before-
about
week 5 or
Week
week
5?
6?
Yeah,
Oh,
week 5.
I don't
bad.
remember week 5. So, and it's, again, that's a horrible thing for me to say, but I was out of it that week. So, you know what? Say it, man. Go Hans. Go Hans. I do remember that. That comeback, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really remember week 5, but I remember that, so I'll go with that too.
I will go with Justice as well.
Justice.
Justice be with you.
Justice.
Next question from the same person. What matchup, excluding your own team, what were you looking forward to watching next week?
So now we're talking about week 6, right?
Yes.
No, well, no, let's say week 7 because
Yeah, let's
looking
say
forward
week
to
7.
seeing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let me open up week 7 real quick.
Yeah, let me know too.
I am very interested to watch the Majins versus the Super Saiyans.
Ooh,
That's
if
going
the
to be
Majins perform like they did before. Let's see. Majins had Majin Vegeta out this week, which means he'll be in next week, and Majin Vegeta is powerful. So if they rotate out Babidi, and you've got Dabura, Spopovich, Majin Vegeta, and Majub, oh, they could be really strong contenders to finally unseat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I would love
definitely.
to see that.
Me, I'm looking at it. I think I'd be interested to see Saiyans at Valkyries. I feel like these teams are fairly even in terms of power, so I feel like this is going to be a good match.
Mm-hmm.
Saiyans at Vals? Yeah, that might be good too.
There is one other one that I am really interested in watching because, if there was a team that had a chance to take them down, I could see this team doing it. Androids versus Namek.
You think Namek can take him down? Namek's been a bit lackluster of late.
They sort of have been, but at the same time, they are extremely powerful.
Well, but see, here's the thing, and this is what I love about this season, though. I mean, all the teams are good enough that I think any team could potentially take down the Super Saiyans. Maybe not Derp, maybe not Ginyu. Or let me put it this way: Derp and Ginyu, yes, on a good day, yes. But I mean, like on their average performance that they've been showing. Most of the teams have been showing good enough performances to possibly take them down. I don't think Namex are quite there.
I think Namex have a chance if 20 and 17 for some reason drop the ball. If those two drop the ball for any particular reason, then I could see Namex making it a good match. But if 20 and 17 are on their game, and if Cell is still in there, then I don't think Namex really have too good of
Yeah.
a shot.
Yeah, I guess it also partly depends on who's rotated out. If Cell or I would say if Cell or 17 are rotated out. Because 20, as impressive as he is, I'm not going to put him up with 17 and Cell. I would much rather face 20 than either of those two.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I do think that the Namex could do this pretty solidly if they have the right lineup.
Possible. I'd love to see it. I don't
Yeah.
like undefeated teams.
Exactly. That is also another reason why I kind of want to watch that, because I kind of want the androids to lose. God dang it.
And androids, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I don't like your team and that I don't want you to keep trying. By all means, keep trying your hardest, because it doesn't mean anything if we beat you and you let us, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I as a commissioner of the league, I like a nice even. I want everyone to be 7-6 or 6-7 next week. That's what I want. I want in week 12. I want every team to be 6-6. That's my
Definitely.
goal of the league. And that's only my goal. That should be no one else's goal. It should just be me as a commissioner. That's what I want. No one else should want that. So just keep that in mind. Like, oh my God, he wants 6-6. We gotta start losing some.
Shit.
But I mean, everyone can understand why. I want to be able to say that the league is very well balanced and that every team is doing their best and that every team has an equal chance of getting wins in. You know.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But I do hope to see the androids taken down soon, and I want it to be an absolutely epic match.
Yeah. Now on to the next question, asked by Malachi, the androids coach. Based on season 5 performances, what teams have surprised you the most? For example, are you surprised that Team Cold's gone 4-1? Well, now 5-1.
Yes, I am very, very surprised. Team Cold. That would probably be my pick. I always knew Team Cold was strong. I knew they were a very powerful team. The two things that surprised me: I didn't know they would have climbed this far this fast, and never would have thought it would have been with a Final Form Frieza.
Yeah.
And because of a Final Form Frieza. Because it's true, Team Cold, very powerful team, but it is undeniable that Final Form Frieza has gotten them at least 3 of their wins. I mean, that guy is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Out of all the teams, seeing how just insanely fast Cold has just rocketed from being, a team where everybody was like, God, come on, Cold, you need to start doing good, to now everybody's scared of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cold's my pick.
And completely and wholeheartedly agreed. On to the next question, again asked by Malachi. Out of curiosity, if or when will the music battles be? To ask another way, with the large library available to us, will theme songs be first come, first serve, or will there be battles for contested songs? Now, I PM'd him and asked what the context for this was, and Squee, you mentioned on the stream that we will be changing our songs. So if you would like to go into that spiel.
I will give an update on this. So TGN has signed a deal with Epidemic Sound, and you guys can go to Epidemic Sound's website and check them out. But basically, the deal is that everyone who is a partner with TGN, i.e., myself, gets free use of Epidemic Sound library for any of their stuff, personal channel, hub channel, whatever. The downside to this is that TGN does not want us to use the Fix-It songs that we're using right now because we don't know how long we can use those for. And to be safe, we just need to switch over to the newer songs, which means that your current team theme songs are no longer, starting this week, are no longer going to be used. I know that some of you love your theme songs and they're fantastic, and I wish you could keep them, but it's just not safe. There's chances for copyright strikes at any time, kind of thing, and we want to make sure that we're safe. We don't want anything to hurt the league and take it off of YouTube or anything like that. So Over the past week, Bern and I have been going over Epidemic's enormous library, looking for songs that we feel would be suitable for background music, things that are epic, that would give the same epic feel and add to the atmosphere of the match. And we've got a good like 30 songs now. I might cut that down a little bit, but we've got a lot of songs that will work. The thing is, I'm not going to be doing music battles right now. I'm not going to be giving teams theme songs because in order to try and do that in the middle of a season is a bad idea. If I were in the middle of season 6 to say, okay, everyone, here's 30 songs, pick your theme song. And if you pick one that someone else picks, music battle time. And if you lose that, you pick another one, another music battle time. Oh, and by the way, make sure to have your bills in for next week's match. It's just someone somewhere is going to have a nightmare. And it's going to take way too long to get it all sorted out because in order to be fair, I need to give the teams time to talk about things because teams need time to listen to all the songs and say we want this one for our team, etc., etc. The point is, trying to do such a thing in the middle of a season is time consuming and a bad idea. So for the rest of season 6, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use this new playlist for background music. There's not going to be any one team tied to any one song. It's just going to be, I will use appropriate songs for background music to make the matches suitably epic, like I used to way back when. And over the course of the season, you guys can say, hey, you know what? That song that was playing during the Booze versus Rugrats, whatever, that was awesome. That was a great song. And, you know, at the during the off season, what I'm going to say is, okay, off season's here. Now pick your theme songs if you guys want it. If you prefer to do it the same way, like, you know what, no team has a theme song, we just do a playlist, you're welcome to. I doubt that'll be the case, but you're welcome to. But you can use the rest of the season to kind of sit there and go, I love this song. I really want this on a team. And when the off season hits, I will let people choose theme songs again. But I'm not going to do that in the middle of a season. I feel like that's just going to be a recipe for disaster. So starting next week, actually, you're going to be hearing all new background songs.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Sounds awesome.
They're really cool songs. They are.
Yeah.
They some of those songs are like, oh, dude, I can just picture the fight now.
Yeah.
The one thing that we're missing, that we're going to have now, that we've been missing in Fix It songs, is we can now have epic orchestral score musics that Fix It didn't have anything like that. You know, everything we have now is very techy and dubsteppy and trancey kind of music, some rock music. And we'll have some of that, but we'll also have almost like epic trailer music type scores, which will really, really add to the atmosphere of the fight. So,
wait, like complete with like a chorus in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think like Two Steps from Hell type of music.
Yeah, some of these are goddamn amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing overall. So yeah, that's how that's going to work.
Mm-hmm. Now, another question asked by Malachi: have people started to complain that the androids are OP?
I don't know. Have they? I haven't noticed it so far. I mean, I've noticed it in joking, like, oh, androids OP nerf, but I haven't noticed any official threads of we need to nerf these guys yet. That generally doesn't happen till week 8 or 9.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not putting a thread up right now. Let's nerf the goddamn androids.
But we and as always, we say this every season. We are very careful when it comes to nerfing teams, and we don't nerf them on a whim. We really do sit down, and I know it seems like every season there's a team that gets nerfed, and that's not par for the course. It's not going to be like that every season. It's not going to be every single season we have. Well, okay, I'm not going to say it's not going to be. I'm going to say that that's not the plan. Here's how this works. It's not like, okay, who was the strongest team? Let's figure out how to nerf them. No, here's what happens. We sit down and we say, this team is really powerful. Is there a reason beyond the effort of the team that makes them really powerful? If so, then how do we fix that? And we do the opposite as well. You know, Hercule. Is Hercule just a simple problem that people can overcome, or is he broken and needs help? And we sit down and we test and we look and we debate, and then if we decide that Super Saiyans are a perfect example. Super Saiyans were not nerfed because of their win-loss record. They were nerfed because as Super Saiyan 2s, they had stat boosts that they did not need.
Yes.
And so we took those away. When we nerfed Team Muscle, we didn't nerf them because their team was doing well. We nerfed them because Omega Shenron was broken, and Android 13 had found a build that was so goddamn amazing with Android 13 that it was making him broken. So yeah. Again, I'm going off on a rant, but I do this because I want to stress to everyone out there who wants to type Android's OP thread, we only nerf teams when it is apparent that there is something above and beyond the team's efforts that are making them powerful. If it's just that the team has found amazing builds for them, we're not going to nerf them because of that. Unless it's been like 3 seasons and these builds are unbeatable, and then we might do something just for the sake of fun, because then it's just going to get boring for everyone. But off of one season, no. We need to sit down and say, is there something on androids that makes them overpowered, or is it just really damn good builds? And if it's really damn good builds, you guys are just going to have to step up and counter.
Yep. Anyways, on to... Did you have something, Viper?
No, I haven't seen anything about anybody, calling for androids OP. So
Cool. I just saw the light pop up.
I feel a little bad. Like I'm coming on this 15-minute speech. Everyone's like, "No, I don't see any threats."
Yeah.
well,
Hey, I
because
should have just
you
been
also
like that too.
you also just basically said everything that I would have said. That as a former staff member, I can back you up on that. No team is ever nerfed because of their win record. A team is nerfed because we comb through the team and we're like, well, wait a second, the stats on this aren't lying. This is something that this team either doesn't need or shouldn't have.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
So
is just
that's
unbeatable. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so that's when it happens.
Now, they do happen to coincide, but that's just logic. If there's something on a team that's broken, unbeatable, or something they really don't need, then they will tend to have more wins. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. What's the next question?
Next question again is from Malachi, and this is his final question for today. For those not on the Ycast, what are your thoughts about the new fan cast?
I'm all for it. I love ideas. People seem to have thought that I was going to be against it somehow. I did hear some people say, "Oh, Squee's going to be mad when he hears this," or don't let the staff. I don't want to. No, I actively encourage different viewpoints. I really, really do. I'm not. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not an expert in the sense that I'm probably as knowledgeable out there as they come. But just because I know a lot doesn't mean I know the best strategies, and my way is the best way. I am always open to more interaction and more Zcast and Ycast type things. Anything that engages the community, anything that gives the diehard DBZ League fans more content to consume over the course of the week is good, as long as it's quality content, not just people talking about I suck and you don't. And they don't. They actually do go into it. I am all for the Ycast. I would even encourage the Ycast for you to listen to it. It's very long, it's in depth, and it's great to see people as passionate about it as I am. I think that it's going through growing pains. A lot of the people who are doing the podcast have never been on podcasts before, so they're learning the ins and outs and what works and what doesn't, and it's a bit jumbled right now. But I have confidence they'll get it together and turn into something rather decent. And I will even tell you this: if the Ycast maintains, if it becomes a weekly thing and it lasts for the rest of the season, and we know that it's something that's going to be sticking around for a while, I'll put it in a playlist on the DBZ League channel. I have no issues with that. The only thing I would wait for is to make sure it doesn't fizzle out after a few weeks.
Yeah. I personally don't have enough time during the day to listen to it, because at least last I checked, it was something like 3 or 4 hours of content, and
yeah,
that's a tiny bit too much for me.
I will say this: it is really long, but they do a good job of splitting it up. They have like 2 hours for talking about last week's matches, 2 hours for talking about next week's matches, and 2 hours for Fantasy League and betting. And I will tell you guys on the Ycast, I have listened to everything you have done except for the Fantasy League and betting, just because I have to choose my time wisely. But I've listened to all of your episodes. And I think you guys have a lot of strong points, and I think you have things that could use some work. But that's just from a person who's done podcasts for a long time standpoint, not I disagree with your views or anything like that. I think you guys have potential. I really do.
Mhm.
And I say keep it up.
Yeah, and I mean, the Ycast has my official support. I was on the first Ycast, and I've talked to Justified, and he knows that should he need someone to fill in for anybody, then most of the time he can hit me up. So no, I'm totally in support of the Ycast too.
Cool. And now we have another long question from Huzzah for Timelines.
Oh, yay.
So, I've been noticing a bit of a trend in the league lately regarding B1 to Ultimate builds. To explain a little more in detail, a B1 to Ultimate build is a build in which a character has Kabito's Secret Art on, and with the help of their B1 to Max Power mode, which most of these characters have, they're able to chain ultimates fairly easily with the right AI. Usually, this results in a combo which the character is able to go Max Power mode incredibly often. Some examples of characters with this build would be Adult Gohan, Mecha Frieza, Android 18, and Mid Goku. Those are the ones I can name off the top of my head. I'm sure there are more. My question is the strategy getting too powerful based solely on their current viewpoint, as we're still fairly early in the season?
I would say the potential for it becoming too powerful is possibly there, but I think it's unlikely for one reason and one reason only.
The computer.
We're in week 6, which means that we're not at the very beginning of the league. We've had several weeks. We're in week 6. We have, as you said, several people who concentrate on these builds, and we're a very even league at the moment. Take a look at Earth Defenders. Goku, calling him a one-trick pony is not correct, but it is obvious that he is centered around this idea. The ability to be one into max power and throw out ultimates. And he's probably one of the better people in the league at doing that. And Dragon Ball and Earth Defenders are what, 4-2?
Yeah, 4-2 right now.
4-2. A respectable record, but by no means overpowered or even near the top of the league. Super Saiyans, actually, Adult Gohan doesn't use his ultimate. He uses his B2s, which is different. Who else does it? Who else is really good at doing this? Frieza.
Plus Adult Gohan's B1 isn't a max power mode one. It's only
full
power.
But Frieza does this, and Frieza is incredibly strong, but I would argue that Frieza is not as powerful as he is because of this ability. He is as powerful as he is because of everything. Mecha Frieza does this, and Mecha Frieza's not... I mean, he's average.
Yeah.
This is Mecha Frieza's bread and butter. He's average. The point I'm making is that we have seen no real evidence so far to point to this being an overpowered technique. Evidence can show up in the future, but 6 weeks is a fair amount of time to start seeing if this was truly a super powered technique. That it would be showing its colors. I think that it's going to be like many other things. It's going to be a powerful technique when used properly, but a technique that can still be countered and still be dealt with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and just a perfect example. My team has been using that combination for seasons now. Like, we've put Kabito Secret Art on Bojack, and Bojack will slam down, do an ultimate with Savior, go full power, and try to slam out another ultimate. And I don't think anybody would really call Muscle an overpowered team over the past couple of seasons.
No.
So,
and I will preface with this: if and when we find certain players that may make this broken, for example, Teen Gohan Super Saiyan 2 is banned from such a build because he was one of the founders. He was one of the first. The people in the Gohans were one of the first pioneers of this technique with Teen Gohan. And Teen Gohan's problem is that not only was he really good at it, he loved to throw out that B2 and be fantastic with it. But his ultimate, his ultimate is so incredibly hard to dodge that it made it almost impossible to really combat. You take a look at mid Goku. Sure, he does it, but you can dodge his ultimate. You can counter his ultimate. You can do all sorts of things with his ultimate. Teen Gohan's father son Kamehameha. Good luck. I can count the number of people that have dodged that thing on one hand. So we are closely watching to see if there are certain characters that break the technique. But overall for the league, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Hell, there's also the Blades. The Blades are 3 and 3, and they have Yajirobe, who's done what, close to 8, 9 ultimates? Just from that?
Yeah. True.
It's very powerful, and you could argue maybe mid Goku is a bit ridiculous with it, but it's a good strategy.
And
it's no different than I'll put it this way: it is no more powerful or less effective than Majub as a B2 spammer or Fasha as a melee beast. These are also incredibly powerful strategies and just as effective, and have not broken the league yet. So I don't see this being an issue.
Viper?
Yeah, no, I agree. And also, there's always the fallback of the fact that, like, you put this combination in a human player's hands and it'll be devastating. But these are computers. They can whiff as hard as anybody else. So, the computer helps even things out because, Goku can do 5 now on Mads, and he can fire Kamehamehas from across the map and never hit any of them.
And I would say, too, that another thing that will keep this from being too overpowered is most teams have this ability. Most teams, if they choose, can build someone because someone on their team is going to have this kind of B1. So if it really starts being overpowered, you might start seeing a lot of teams use this ability. And if every team has this ability, then can't really say it's overpowered. That's oversimplifying a little bit. I know there's some teams, like say the Ginyu Force, where it may not be as feasible just because the B1 takes so long to pull off.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of teams out there that have this ability and just don't choose to use it. And possibly one of the reasons why they choose not to use it is because it has downfalls. It's dedicating the majority of a build to a one-trick pony.
Yeah, it's basically turning them into a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where once they're done, they're vulnerable, and they're going to have to try and keep up the pressure and get their ki back up, and then they might be able to, stay in the game. But I guarantee you, if mid Goku goes up against, let's say, if Birder was there, in this week's match, if mid Goku went up against Birder with Power Body, mid Goku would. If he dodged all of mid Goku's ultimates or B2s or whatever, and he had the -1 key from Super Plus 2 and the minus key from Now I'm Mad, mid Goku would be screwed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or even another person from the Ginyu Force against Goku. Goku slams down with his max power build, and Jace comes out, and Jace has the fastest B1 to max power dance out of all of them. Jace pulls off his before Goku pulls off his. Jace is shutting down Goku right there.
Yep. And that's kind of what happened during the match. Because Goku had another bar and a half, or bar and 3/4. And Jace just went, nope. 18,000. Lol.
But yeah, but we will keep an eye on it. If it starts to look like it's overpowered, and by all means, you guys are welcome to, if you feel that you have, here's what I would say. If you feel it's overpowered, if you feel anything in the league is overpowered, you are always welcome to set up a thread and talk about it. But here's what I would want. I don't want the feelies. If you want to say something's overpowered, treat it like a scientist would. Provide hard evidence. this match, this match, this match, this match. Look at these numbers, look at this damage, look at these effects, or look at this and how this is unfair. Make a case for it. The one thing that we can't go with is it's overpowered. Why? You can see why. You see what I mean? Which I'm not suggesting Huzzah's done it all. In fact, Huzzah just asked a simple question. I'm throwing this out there more for anyone at any time about anything. If you feel something's overpowered, you're always welcome to tell us. And if you want us to actually pay attention and really make a good case for it, make a strong argument with evidence, with look at these 6 weeks when this happened. How do you beat that? And that kind of thing. And we're always open. We're always flexible. There are a lot of times where you guys bring up something to us that we either hadn't considered or we missed, and we're more than happy to take a look at. And sometimes we change it.
And we have 3 more questions.
Yay!
All from Dimension Satire. Now, the first one is, how much do you think home stadiums factor into matches?
I will tell you, with experience, not at all. Because I did this experiment last season, and I tried to see if we won at home more than if we won at away. And there was no conclusive evidence to say yes or no. It's just RNG.
I will have to disagree with you on that.
Me too.
Depending on where the matches will be. Like, if the Earth Defenders was still at Kame House, oh god, yes, we won almost every single game that we weren't on Kame House. Actually, no, we did. We won every single game that we did not have at Kame House last season. That's what prompted me to try and find a non-water map, because our characters do better.
Yep. Because our characters aren't good at water. I would say it depends on the map, but there are some maps that very much give you an advantage or a disadvantage, and androids are perfect example. You can't tell me that the androids don't have a slight advantage playing on Kami House map. It's not a huge advantage. Obviously, it's not huge. But the fact that they're all androids and being underwater, while it affects their charge rate, it doesn't affect it as much as other people. That's an advantage. And I would argue that that's a very smart move on their part.
Yeah, and the fact that they can still stay aggressive while charging, while other characters will have to charge underwater and do nothing, is pretty huge as well. There is also a couple of maps like Mat Pautsu, like Hell. I actually think Pautsu is gone. Blades didn't go back to there. They went to Hell.
They didn't.
That's right.
They went to Hell.
So Hell is actually one of those stadiums that I would say actually screws with your match, because if you have a very B2 reliant team, that terrain is going to screw with it.
Yep.
Yeah. That terrain is going to eat so many B2s. It's not even funny. So the second question is, are there any matches you think could have gone differently if on the other team's home stadium?
Yeah. For the same reason.
Yeah. Exactly the same reasons. Like, if the Majins and the Vals fought on the Majins' home turf, and the Majins didn't have to fight through that the water penalty, definitely could have been different, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think another one is sometimes if you're on a map like Hell that the ground loves to eat B2s, and you're fighting with a B2 spammer, you could be at a disadvantage there. The Hell has eaten so many ultimates and beams, and not even funny.
Viper?
No, I'm in agreement with you, both of you.
Cool. And the final question of this week. If the dreaded Mountain Road was available as a home stadium, do you think any team would be crazy enough to choose it?
Yes, a melee-heavy team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
I was actually begging Squee, before we actually changed up our team a bit, to let me take Mountain Road, and he said no.
Yeah, he because your defenders used to be very heavy melee oriented.
4 out of 5 characters were melee.
And are you kidding me? A melee team should jump at that chance. They don't worry about B2s. Who cares if some of their B2s are eaten? That's not their bread and butter. And then you
Yeah.
go up against a team like the Super Saiyans where B2s are king. You've got an advantage.
Majins
You
as
know,
well.
you know what team would probably work really well on Mountain Road?
What?
Androids. Because androids are really aggressive, and even if their B2s miss, when they're charging up for their next B2, they don't just sit there. They're in your face. So they would actually probably do pretty good on Mountain Road.
Possibly.
Don't give them ideas.
But no,
Listen,
they can't have Mountain Road.
No. Okay, good.
Give them the ideas they want. They can't have it. I'm not giving
okay.
Mountain Road to any team for that reason, that I think the advantage could be too great.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Okay, so that concludes the questions for this week. And now we will do the predictions for week 7.
I think I'm gonna win it all.
Of course you will.
And I'm gonna catch all of the Pokemons.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the best gym leader ever.
You might even find the next 150 Pokemons.
Yeah.
Gotta enslave them all.
Match 1, Majins versus Super Saiyans.
Oh,
This is
man, I
rough.
really think... Okay, I'm going to go on a limb and say that the Majins are going to perform as well as they did last time, and they're going to take the Super.
Yeah, I really could see that. Early Goku will very likely be benched, so they will have both Vegetas, a Gohan, and a Trunks, which is a really scary team. But the Majins can also be an extremely scary team if they have the right lineup and everything.
Yeah,
I'm
plus
gonna go with the Majins.
Majin Vegeta should be coming in this week, right?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Right, so the rest of the team performs well, and Majin Vegeta actually performs the way we all know it. I'll give it to Majins.
Yep. All right, on to match 2: Dragon Ball Warriors versus Gohans. You know, this is kind of a tough thing to call. Gohans will have Kid Goku, and Dragon Ball Warriors will have Nam.
Wait,
Gohans will have Kid Gohan. Sorry.
Okay, Kid Gohan. I want to say... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering. I'm trying to figure out if Nam will be a changing factor in this match or not. Like if Gohans are strong enough to nullify Nam.
I think they can be, seeing as how well they did against the Majins in that match. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do if nothing hits you. You know what I mean?
Right. I think the Dragon Ball Warriors could definitely do it. I think if Saiyaman keeps performing the way he's been performing, and you have Kid Gohan's no joke. If Teen Gohan's in there, I think if the Gohans bring their A game, which I'm not sure they'll do, actually.
Yeah.
If the Gohans bring their A game, I'm going to give it to the Gohans. However, they're going to have Kid Gohan in there. I don't think the Gohans are going to be bringing their A game. I expect them to rotate out a power player. Because Dragon Ball Warriors are not doing the best this season, this would be a good time for them to rotate out someone like Teen Gohan or Saiyaman for that matter. And I think that if they do that, and they probably will do that, it might be a big mistake for them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Dragon Ball Warriors on this
one. I could see the Gohans winning if they brought their A game, but for now I'll say the Dragon Ball Warriors as well.
Yeah, and this is only because I don't think they're gonna bring their A game.
Yeah, there is one other person they could bench that I think is weaker. But I'm not gonna say who it is because reasons.
Yeah.
And if they bench that person, then I could definitely see the Gohans winning.
Yup.
Viper?
What about you, Vipes?
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to give it to Gohans. I
Not a
think
bad
I
call.
think between the two teams, I think Gohans are a slightly solid, a more solid team than what Dragon Ball Warriors have been showing so far. So I'll give it to the Gohans.
Cool.
All right.
All right, match 3: Saiyans versus Valkyries. This is
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
give it to the
interesting.
Vals. I think it'll be a good match, but the Vals are gonna have a Rayleigh back. They could rotate out someone like Pan if they wanted. And the Saiyans they're gonna get Nappa back and have to rotate out one of their better characters. Nappa's arguably their worst member right now.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna
It's
be at their best.
yeah, it's kind of a toss-up between Turles and Nappa at the moment, stats-wise.
Yeah.
Plus they're going to be battling through water.
Yeah. True.
So
I'm
I'm
I'm gonna go Vals.
yeah, I'm gonna say Vals as well.
Yeah, I was going to say this was looking like a close match, but I didn't realize Nappa was coming back. I'm gonna have to give it to the Vals.
Yeah. And you said you were prepared for this match, or you wanted to watch this match next week. Come on.
That was before I knew Nappa was coming back.
I know.
I
Leave
still want
me
to watch
be.
it.
Yeah, I still
Oh
want to
yeah,
watch
I
it.
still want to
Jeez.
watch it.
Blades versus Colt. Now Blades will have Spamion back, and Colt
Yeah,
will
but
have King
Spamion's
Colt.
been lackluster this season.
Yeah,
Spamion's
he has
not been Spamion.
It's kind of weird.
I'm going cold. I gotta go cold. Unless they rotate out a power player like Freezer, which I don't think they're gonna do. I gotta go cold. Cold's just such a damn dominant team right now.
You know, I'm going to go with the Blades.
Really?
Because I have a feeling that Cold will rotate out one of their power players. Because, like I said, King Cold's going to be in. I'm pretty sure they already have 2 benches for Cooler. So it's Meta Cooler, Mecha Frieza, or Frieza. So unless they bench Meta Cooler, it's probably going to be Frieza or Mecha.
You know,
I'm still
gonna
go with cold, but yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Blades too, because I don't think they've been benching Frieza too much so far, and I'm pretty sure they have like some decent competition coming up at the end that they're gonna want Frieza for, so they're gonna want to start benching Frieza soon.
Yeah, they have 0 benches for Frieza right now.
Oh yeah,
wow.
So I think I'm gonna lean for Blades on this one.
You know what? I'm gonna change that. Without Frieza, the Blades are a strong enough team. I think they could take him. All right, yeah.
All right, on to match 5: Androids versus Namek. We were arguing about this before, but I'm not going to change my answer. Namek, because I think they could potentially win. And it's at this point I kind of want Namek to win, just so the androids lose and we don't have a team that has no losses.
I want Namek to win too. I just don't think that.
Yeah.
So androids.
Okay. And on to match 6, which I'm pretty sure Squee will be the only one to determine this one. ED versus Muscle.
I'm gonna have to go with Muscle. I have confidence in my team.
Yeah.
Well, who's rotating what now? Let's see here. The Earth Defenders are getting Yamcha back. They might rotate out. They could rotate out Chaozu or Krillin. I feel that the Muscle is strong. Muscle's getting Bojack back? Yeah, Bojack back. Muscle could rotate out. I think part of it depends on how powerful or how much of a contender Muscle thinks Earth Defenders are, and I think they probably think they're a strong team. I am going to say right now, the way things are looking, damn good match. But I'm probably gonna go with
Drum roll.
Muscle. I'm gonna go with Muscle.
Damn.
I think honestly, when I say I think it's an even match, I truly mean it's gonna be a damn good match. But I think that yeah, I mean Broly transforms, Android 13 get some licks in. I think that could be game over.
Yeah.
It'll be a damn good match, though. At least I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Good luck, Viper.
Good luck to you too.
All right. Match 7. Ginyu versus the Rugrats.
Oh man, I gotta go Rugrats. As much as I want Ginyu to win, Rugrats are really strong right now.
Yeah.
Really, really good. They're gonna have Goten and Trunks back, so we'll have to see if they're gonna do transformations on or off. But if they turn transformations off, definitely think Rugrats. If they have transformations on, it'll determine how Gotenks does, but still very strong chance for the Rugrats. Ginyu Force, I love the Ginyu Force. I want them to do better. Rugrats are just on fire right now.
Yeah.
Ginyu Force is getting back Birder, right?
Yes. Getting back Birder. In my opinion, I can definitely see Ginyu. If they put the right builds on the right people and they put the right lineup out, I can see Ginyu Force winning.
I can always see Ginyu Force.
Yeah, you know what? I think Ginyu Force is due for another win. I'll go Ginyu Force on this one.
Yeah.
Especially getting back Birder. Birder's a pretty damn strong character, so
He
if
is.
they bring if they bring their A game against the Rugrats and
Yeah.
the Rugrats underestimate them, then I think Ginyu Force.
Yeah.
Certainly, if they rotate Ginyu or Goldo out and they have the right builds, yeah, they definitely got a shot. I'm just playing probabilities here.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, I'm very tempted to go for Rugrats because of probabilities, but I just between Rugrats probably underestimating them and Ginyu Force getting Birder back, I could see Ginyu Force getting this win, so I'll go Ginyu.
Yeah. All right, and the final match for the week: Boo versus Derp. You know,
as much as Derp's been struggling lately, Boos have not been much better.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird, and they will have Majin Buu back, who technically stats-wise is their MVP, if I recall correctly. Let me double check that really quick.
The Derp will have Dodoria back. They could rotate out if Derp has Devilman, Dodoria, and 19, and they do well. Yeah, I think they could take it. I think they could do it. I think they could take the
Boos.
Could not think of their name for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could, especially if they rotate out Hercule, keeping Salza, because Salza hasn't exactly, been doing terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
He's actually doing pretty good.
Oh man, I just want to see the Devil Might beam again, and especially against the Boos. Oh, that'd be so good.
It's such a shame, and you're so lucky he decided to not use it at all, because your entire team, except for Roshi, would have been decimated by that beam.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go back. All you have to do is go back to season 3 and watch my team get decimated by the Devil Might beam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he was trying that gambit. He put him on TNAI, which in tests he was telling me has been known to throw out ultimates. But for some reason this week it didn't.
Still did good. Yeah, Devilman's been such a great addition to that team.
Oh god, yes.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna actually have to go Derp.
Yeah, I will as well. Derp all the way.
Agreement. We are in it.
Yes. Is there anything else you guys can think of while I refresh to see if there's any questions?
Yeah, I do. One thing I did want to bring up that I'm pleased with. Now that we're 6 weeks in, I don't know if you guys talked about this in other Zcasts that I had to miss, but I'm pleased with Power Body and how it's been playing out. Obviously people are worried when we started it. Is Power Body going to be OP? Is it going to cause bad builds and whatnot? And I think Power Body has been exactly what we were hoping for. a powerful tool and a good option, but certainly counterable and very situational. We've
Mhm.
seen some teams use it to great effect and win matches with it, and we've seen other teams be countered so hard it makes your head spin.
Yeah.
So,
It
yeah.
it is a tactical risk every time you use Power Body.
I mean, so I like it because you in no way, shape, or form can suggest that it's making the league overpowered. It's counterable. It's counterable from people who don't even have Draconic Aura. Look at what Yamcha did to Dodoria. He had no Draconic Aura. He Power Body has weaknesses. It's a -1 to defense, and if you hit them with 5 hits, they will still get stunned. And what you saw was Yamcha getting 5 hits in before Dodoria got his first in, and stun him, and then keep going. So
Yeah.
I have to say that I'm very pleased with the way Power Body has been playing out so
Mhm.
far.
There was also Tien versus Oob as well.
Yeah.
Tien was not utterly smashed by Power Body. He still was able to keep up.
So yeah, and then you've seen matches where Power Body was like,
Yeah. Like freaking early Piccolo. Oh. God damn it.
so yeah, I liked how that was going. So any other questions or?
No, it doesn't look like it. I think we will end here. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye everyone. See you next
But
week.
see you guys later.